Threshold. So Threshold actually is looking pretty good in terms of underlying numbers. Downside is obviously price action. Now this launched and went to its high back in March of 2022. Since then, obviously, it's dropped substantially. Now we want to take a look at where this can go in price. What's really got to happen for this to have a good rise? Now, before I get into any of that, if you're new to this channel, this spreadsheet just shows the first 26 coins I did videos about on the channel. And in each of the videos, I showed myself buying up all of these cryptos. That was because I expected they were going to make me a lot of money. And you can see what they were all worth. These are the prices when I recorded and released the videos. These are the highs these coins hit 16 months on, and what your profits would have been from $100 into those coins. If you'd have done that for each and every single one in that time, you'd have made over 123 grand. Now, you don't have 16 months to get things sorted. We're in a bull cycle right now, and if you've got cryptos you're not confident in, have a look at copymycrypto.com. Now that's the website I run where I share every single coin I own with my members. So if I find a crypto that I think is really good and is going to make a lot of money, like many of these did, all I do is jump onto my site. I tell my members about the crypto that I'm looking at buying and the price that I'm going to be buying it at. If I decide to sell any of the coins I own, I tell my members the coin that I'm going to be selling and the price that I'm going to be selling at. So all my members get in and out of coins at the same price as me, so they can make the same profit and they don't have any work to do. If you go onto my site, you'll see some of the profits my members have made, as well as some of their testimonials on the service they get on the site. And you can also see some of my past successes. Again, all of which are on the history of this channel, so you can verify everything that you read and watch. Now, read through the whole site, verify it all, and if you like what you see, if you want to hear more, if you want to find out the cryptos I think are going to be the winners of this bull cycle, all you have to do to find out about them is join up on the site, guys. Now, Threshold. So, as I said, launched back in around March of 2022, or February, February. So it hit its high in March of 2022. All-time high was 22.5 cents, roughly. So obviously it's fallen off that a little bit, but obviously the supply has grown quite a bit. Now, interestingly, only around 8,000 holders. You would expect more with a coin with the market cap that it is, and especially with the price as low as it is. Now, Threshold Network has a suite of cryptographic primitives for dApps. The network is the product of the protocol merger between Keep Network and NuCypher, both of which were very popular back in 2021. So that launched the T token. So this is the utility token for the network, as well as a governance token for the DAO. So it's used primarily to stake a node. So node operators receive fees from various applications that rely on Threshold's cryptographic primitives. Token, as I said, governance, and users can lock the token in coverage pools to earn yield in exchange for underwriting collateral risk in the network. So the Threshold primitives, so they have proxy re-encryption, they have threshold signatures, they have distributed key generation, and they have random beacon. Now, the key thing, and probably the thing that they're known for is tBTC. That's Threshold's tokenized Bitcoin, and it's completely permissionless, so there's no custodian. So it allows anyone to tokenize their Bitcoin, and then they can use it in DeFi applications, and that stops them sacrificing privacy or risking any censorship. And the big thing here is really unlocking Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the most valuable asset in crypto by country mile, and at the moment, there aren't really tons of use cases for Bitcoin beyond a store of value. And long term, big holders of Bitcoin are going to want to try and use that capital to make more money. So earning some form of yield within DeFi applications using a tokenized Bitcoin is a very good way of doing this and really unlocking the value around Bitcoin. Their early history was, again, the merger between Keep and NuCypher. It was the first merger in crypto history. And then there was a snapshot taken of Keep and NuCypher token holders, and obviously redistribution of tokens after there. The supply, there was a 10 billion initial supply, 4.5 was allocated to new holders, 4.5 was allocated to keep holders, and 1 billion was allocated to the threshold DAO. Now, since getting up and running, obviously the tBTC was the flagship product that they launched. And this really is what we want to take a look at. So the current supply has a net worth of $500 million for tBTC. Over the course of time, as of right now, there are 5,000 or just shy of 5,000 tokenized Bitcoin. Which, based on current, 4,700 or something. And based on obviously current price of Bitcoin, that equates to just shy of $500 million. So the total BTC supply, there you go, 4,724 tBTC. So supply and holders, so that is 3,198. And then you can sort of see how this has moved. So supply has obviously been increasing along with the holders, kind of as you'd expect. You would expect them both to sort of rise in pretty much or a perfect positive correlation or close enough. And some days, obviously, there's been more Bitcoin, like tBTC, minted than on other days. And you can see how it works across different networks. So Arbitrum, Optimism, Polygon, Base, and Solana. As you probably expect, Ethereum obviously is the biggest. But again, and they have the tBTC wormhole supply over time as well. So they've got a lot of metrics and information here. The June index really does just indicate the on-chain adoption over sort of the course of Threshold's lifetime, not June specific. Like June.com just shows everything. So if you look up Threshold, you can start having a look. But there's a lot of information here that sort of gives you an idea of how the supply is changing. I think what they would have hoped for at this point is greater adoption. I think they would have hoped for more than 4,000 Bitcoin being utilized. I think, realistically, you want to see in the region of tens of thousands, right? You want to get over that $1 billion market cap in terms of tokenized Bitcoin. And we're not really there yet, halfway there. So, but again, so tBTC is live on Aave. So it's another way you can put your threshold Bitcoin to work. So here it is. So the reserve size is there. Available liquidity is 26.5 mil, but you could supply and earn a yield over time. The yield isn't amazing, by the way, by any stretch of the imagination. Quite poor, but it's a starting point, isn't it? It's a starting point for using a tokenized Bitcoin, and that's really what is needed. And the reality is I expect huge companies to get involved in this. Like I expect huge holders to inevitably get involved in this because, unless they are mining, they want they want that collateral to be used. They want that money to be used to make more money. And the way to do that is incorporate it into some form of DeFi protocol, whether it's a lending and borrowing one, whether it's a yield earning one, but get it doing something. This is Bitcoin right now has a market cap over, $1 trillion, nearly $2 trillion. It's going to be an asset. Well, it's already an asset that the biggest companies in the world are starting to accumulate. Look at BlackRock. And it seems to me that it's inevitable that we're going to see those companies wanting to use Bitcoin more than just holding it. And Threshold gives that as an opportunity. You connect your wallet, you make a Bitcoin deposit, and you initiate minting. It is pretty simple. And of course, we're going to see inflows and outflows constantly, especially when Bitcoin is rising. Probably more likely to see outflows than you are inflows. But, you can see like protocol history, some 2.67 there. You can see what's happening as it's happening. I think that this objectively is undervalued. I mean, it legitimately is. They've managed to have nearly 5,000 Bitcoin Bitcoin deposited and new Bitcoin, or tokenized Bitcoin minted. This is starting to get used, but it's nowhere close to where it can be. If we see that number get over 10,000, maybe even get to 20 or 30,000 tokenized Bitcoin, all of a sudden you've got something with market cap of a couple billion in just the tokenized Bitcoin, and then you've got to look at threshold as undervalued. Right now, the market cap is a third of what the value of the tokenized Bitcoin is. But this success is going to depend on usage. I would have expected that we would have seen greater price stability than we've seen, especially during a bull cycle where we've seen Bitcoin really not have too many significant pullbacks, where it is still at close to its all-time high right now. You would have thought threshold might be a bit more stable because it's intrinsically tied. Their flagship product is intrinsically tied to the biggest crypto in the world. Their job, really, as far as I can see, is get users. So they market, they advertise, and they've got to try and get the big holders of Bitcoin, the biggest holders, to start using the platform. They can start getting some of those, there's plenty of wallets out there that hold, not millions of Bitcoin, but there's plenty of wallets out there that hold hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin. And starting to get those big boys using this platform is how Threshold will succeed as a price point. They can rise off the back of, imagine if you hear BlackRock or even MicroStrategy or some have started using Threshold to accumulate more Bitcoin. They're tokenizing the Bitcoin and they're putting it into DeFi protocols. You would think there would be a huge surge of investment into Threshold. And I think that's what they've got to do. That's they've got to push on. Because make no mistake about it, if this gets to 10,000 tBTC holders, 10,000 tBTC minted, this coin should be hitting a market cap of in and around the $1 billion mark. To do that, it hits 10 cents, basically. And I think that's a really fair target, but that is going to be based entirely upon growth. And they've got to start pushing on growth now. Protocol's working. There's no issues with the protocol now. Standard business practices apply, guys. Get users on board. And is there a coin out there that you see as hugely undervalued? One that's market cap doesn't reflect the amount of money in it or the quality of it? Let me know about any of them in the comments, because I read the comments and I'll happily do a video about it. And guys, look, we're in a bull cycle right now. If you've got cryptos you're not happy with, if they're not performing for you, or you're not confident in them, get onto copymycrypto.com, have a read through the site. On my site, you will see some of the profits my members have made. You'll see some of my past successes, some of their testimonials about the service they get on the site. And there I share every coin I own with my members. I give them daily market updates, informing them where the markets are going to go. When I find a crypto that I want to buy, I jump onto the site. I tell my members about the crypto, the price that I'm going to buy at. I do the same when I sell. So there is no work for my members. They get in and out coins at the same price as me, so they make the same profit. And if you're interested in finding out more, like I say, all you have to do is read the site. And if after that, you want to know the coins that I think are going to be the winners of this cycle, like I predicted with so many of these. Don't forget, in 2020, no one was talking about Phantom. I released a whole course for $20 about why it was the best investment of the year. It went up nearly 700 times from when I found it. And if you want to find out the winners for this year, all you've got to do to find out is join up. And if you do, I'll see you there. Otherwise, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.